Call the police immediately.
I don't get it.
No idea what you're talking about. Yes? Hello? Hi, stranger.
I want ham and eggs and flapjacks with lots of butter and syrup and coffee. I'll take the coffee now.
Why are you coming with me? Rain.
Where's my dough?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Vibes and Stuff Live in the Morning. It's your host, Chuck Allen, with your host, Uncle Freezie, coming to you live on a Wednesday, February the 8th. Vibe ones, how y'all doing this morning? How are you doing this morning?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm mentally and emotionally, intellectually, I'm great. Physically, I feel like a Ford Pinto.
Good.
That's what I'm feeling. That's what I feel. Physically, I feel like a Ford Pinto, bro. I'm beat up, but we here, bro. We kicking it. We alive and kicking it. We alive and kicking, bro. So, yeah, man. How about you?
Oh man, I'm feeling like a Chevy Citation right now. Or Chevy Monza.
A sky blue one with the dent back by the gas cap. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Yeah, man.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I feel good. I'm a little sluggish, but I'm good.
Yeah, man.
How was the game last night?
It's a lot to unwrap. It's a lot to unwrap, but can I ask you what's in your cup this morning? Let me ask what's in your cup. All right, let me do this. All right. Yeah, man. Coffee and some dollar store water. Maybe not dollar store. Mo, where did we get this from?
Publix.
Oh, so Publix sparkling water.
Okay.
So I got water and coffee, man. Water and coffee. So if you want to how was the game last night? How was the game last night? So last night, the New York Knicks visited the Orlando Magic. For some of y'all that are seeing Vibes and Stuff for the first time, welcome to Vibes and Stuff, the morning show we do in the mornings before the Knicks morning drive. I'm out of studio right now. I'm not in Studio G. I'm here in sunny and beautiful Orlando, Florida. Been here since for a while, and so I went to the game last night. And Chuck, let me just say, you mind if I skip current events first and go straight to random thoughts?
Yeah, let's jump into it. Into it, man.
Okay.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
Ooh.
Bro, that joint give me them vibes, bro. Like I should.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So let me do this. Let me say this about the game last night. So the game last night is not always just about the game last night. It's always about going to the game, who you go to the game with,
Yes, sir.
is the environment dope? And did you get a good vibe while you was there? What about the prices at the arena? You know what I'm saying? Did what you go to see perform like what you went? You know what I'm saying? There's all these things that go into it, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me first say this. Of all the arenas that we visit in the Mid-Atlantic to Deep South area, of all the arenas we visit from Washington D.C. to Miami, Florida, that includes, say, Memphis. Also, we'll include Memphis and Charlotte in a minute. Orlando is the most perplexing to me because it has the most potential of everybody. Orlando has Los Angeles Lakers potential and dollar store execution. Let me put it that way. If you ever been on I-4, just me mentioning I-4 make you want to cuss. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in certain spots, it's New York City traffic. You know what I'm saying? And the people are just zooming in places, and they ain't even really going nowhere. It's everybody is like zooming around, going to the same place. It's confusing to me. It's like a beehive, like a million bees trying to get into one entrance of the beehive. That's what it's like.
Okay.
So there's that. But I'd be willing to put up with that because, you know, we deal with that with the Garden. You know what I'm saying? Basically, right?
Right.
I really did not enjoy the game last night. I enjoyed the win. The game was a good game. And shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Jab Step King and DSJ and Jamie Peralta, Jerry Fitz. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pudge Nice in the building. Pudge in the building. Ivory 10, Miss Geraldine, one of the members. Ivory 10, one of the members of the channel, man. Shout out to y'all. Let me first start by saying this. This cat, Emmanuel, Quickley, and I've been seeing it. Hey, Marlon Khan is in the building. What's good, man?
Salute.
What I'm gonna say to y'all, man, is again, I've seen Emmanuel Quickley now live numerous times.
Okay.
I think Emmanuel Quickley is a starting point guard in the NBA, man. The dude moves and does all these things like an NBA point guard, man. And for the Knicks not to use him in some form, because they already have one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the Knicks not to use him, bro, I was so frustrated because you could see when I watched Orlando, there's no way that Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony are as skilled as Emmanuel Quickley, period.
As Emmanuel Quickley? Okay.
Put all three of them together, and they are not as skilled as Emmanuel Quickley, bro. And I'm talking about Suggs' defense, Markelle Fultz athleticism and skill, Cole Anthony's heart and athleticism. Put all that together, and they are still not Emmanuel Quickley. What I'm saying to y'all, man, is you gotta go to these, man. when you go to these games, bro, when you see this cat Emmanuel Quickley in person, bro, his jitterbug, the little quickness, the little shiftiness, bro, is top notch, man. Is top notch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't and I'm talking about this dude is creating space, Chuck. This dude creates space, right? And it's not even him using foot speed. It's like his change of direction it's like watching the early days of a Mark Price, bro. Watching Quickley. Like you don't know when you look at him. Yeah, when you look at him, you like, what is this? When you look when you looked at Mark Price at Georgia Tech, he was like, yeah, that'll never work in it. When you saw Mark Price, he was like, yeah, that will never work in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he get to the NBA, and it's like, okay, they can't stop him. Right. And so that's one of my random thoughts last night. My other random thought is, what is Obi Toppin doing, bro? Obi Toppin made me so, and this is another random thought, and this is not me bashing Obi again. This is something I'm like, yo, Obi, where's your mind at? Yo, Obi, is Obi a space cadet? The dude was at the free throw line, right? And a Magic player walked behind him to try to cut him off and talk that trash to him. Obi is like patting him, like, yo, what's up, bro? Yo, man, what's good? Obi, in between the lines, bro. Listen, I get it. I get the some people are just good people thing. I just think in between the lines, there should be some level of sportsmanship, but you don't have to like everybody in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I saw a couple of times, right? Like I saw Randall get checked up last night, and he was right. And this is one thing you don't see on TV, right? This is one of the things that you don't necessarily see on television. Julius Randle went to the rim and got accosted and assaulted at the rim. And the one time during game action, Amway Center went crazy booing. It felt like it was about to be a riot in there because everybody felt like Randall had got accosted. The referees, panicking in the moment, teched up Julius Randle off a bad call. Okay. Now, if I had seen that on television, and this is just a random thought, if I had saw that on television, I'd have been like, Randall, compose yourself, man. Why are you always flipping out, getting teched up? But being in the arena, you heard like, so the crowd was. Well, let me ask you this, Chuck. What do you think what do you think about the crowd? As far as percentage goes, what part do you think was Orlando and what part do you think was Knicks? Like 50-50, 60% Orlando, 40% Knicks?
I would say probably 50-50.
Okay. So mind you, this game occurred on a Tuesday night, right? Just a random Tuesday night in February, right? In our mind, we think it was 70% Knicks fans, 30% Magic fans.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's what it felt like. Is what it felt like when Paolo Banchero and when we talk to Greeny again, when we see Greeny and Adam and Chef NYK and all those, when you see those guys, bro, I promise you they will co-sign what I'm saying, not because I'm saying it, but when you ask them, if you give them some truth serum, they'll say it was on a Tuesday night in February, just a random Tuesday. It's not even All-Star weekend. It's just a random Tuesday night in February. It was 70% Knicks fans, 30% Magic fans. and they came in the spot and took over. When Paolo Banchero went to the free throw line, they booed his man. Look, Chuck. And shout out to Knicks fans. Y'all are so loyal. Y'all are up like 8-something in the morning, rocking with us. I got on this old Knicks jersey. Oh, this old Knicks shirt. I only had this shirt for like, Mo, how long I had this shirt? A year? Maybe 2?
2.
So I had this shirt like 2 years, and it looked like I had it like 10 years because I wear it like 4 times a week because I love it. Yeah. But there are other Knicks fans out there that love it also, right? Just love the Knicks stuff, right? So on a random Tuesday night in Orlando, Florida, the Amway Center is 70% Knicks fans, 30% Magic fans. And most of the ladies that went in the spot, you would think they'd be rooting for their hometown. They were Knicks fans. Fingernail polish, orange and blue, Knicks logos hanging out their ears. You know what I'm saying? Orange and blue dye in their hair. Bro, it was crazy. It's like the playoffs. But Chuck, when I say this, I'm just gonna say this to you, right? The RJ Barrett star thing is real.
The RJ Barrett star thing is real. What you mean?
Yes. Since I've been doing this, I think I've been to 3 or 4 different arenas just since I've been doing this, right?
Okay.
When RJ Barrett scores, bro, the in-house PA announcers sing this dude's name, and they did it last night. Like at one point, RJ Barrett was 1 for 10, right?
Yes, he was.
This dude hit a 3, and the Orlando Magic in-house PA announcer said, 3-point basket, RJ Barrett. So I'm like, what? This RJ Barrett thing. Yo, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. If y'all don't think this kid is going to be a star, y'all are absolutely wrong. This dude, the production's not there yet. Look, he was 1 for 10, right? He was 1 for 10, right? Oh, Jerry Fitz, that's right. He did play basketball in Orlando. Yep. I forgot he went to Mount Verde.
Yep.
They sung RJ Barrett name last night, bro, and the entire every time RJ Barrett did something good or something good happened to him or something bad happened to him, or you heard the crowd, and I'm talking about the entire crowd, all 15,000 or so that was in there. Every time RJ Barrett did something, bro, all you heard was cheers, bro. A girl behind us, her I think her graduation present was an Orlando Magic game, right? And that's just a personal thing. It don't have nothing to do overall with Knicks. But her but her parents were from New York. They moved down to Florida or something. They was trying to tell us the story. Me and my son and I were sitting together. They was trying to tell us the story. And one of the gifts they got for her was she gets to see the Knicks in person when they visit Orlando for one of her graduation presents, right?
Okay. Right.
So RJ Barrett, as soon as they walk in, she is screaming uncontrollably, can't control herself. She gets to see the Knicks in person. So she's behind us, like, and it was disturbing, but kind of like freaky at the same time. Like it was like a good thing, but it's like, oh my God, calm down. It's only the Knicks. But then again, you and I are Knicks fans, and we've been Knicks fans a long time.
Right.
But this girl, she was like 17, and she was screaming, "Oh my God, RJ Barrett is right there! Oh my God!" Like she couldn't believe it, bro. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was weird. Just went on for an hour straight, back to back, no breaks. oh my God, there's RJ Barrett. He's right there. Bro, let me tell y'all something, man. We critique RJ Barrett, and RJ Barrett's game deserves to be critiqued, right? But bro, RJ Barrett is RJ Barrett has star written all over him, bro. I've been to different arenas, and I'm not trying to sell y'all a narrative. Y'all don't have to believe me. I don't care. And what I'm saying is, I'm just saying this because I want people to understand that outside of our Knicks internet universe, is like a real physical Knicks universe that exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, nowadays we have to do a lot of stuff remote, and quite frankly, it's more convenient to do stuff remotely, right? But man, when you hear RJ Barrett's name in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? They're like, during the introductions, when RJ Barrett gets up, this was last year? Last year in Charlotte, North Carolina, they were like, at guard, from Connecticut, Kemba Walker. Everybody was like, yay, okay, Kemba coming back home, Charlotte. Right. And then they were like, and at the other guard, RJ Barrett. The Spectrum Center went crazy. They almost blew the roof off.
Okay.
Right?
Well, he played in North Carolina, so, at Duke, so.
Yeah. I mean, I think the kid is going to be something, man. I don't know what. In terms of on the court, I don't see it yet. But in terms of fans, the dude's got some, bro. The dude is and I'm talking about RJ Barrett gets an ovation like that when LaMelo Ball is on the floor. Miles Bridges was there, right? In Orlando, when they go crazy for RJ Barrett, and Paolo Banchero was there. Jonathan Isaac was there. You know what I'm saying? I think RJ Barrett's gonna be something. I don't know what. I don't know what in terms of
you're not,
huh?
You mean he's gonna be something like a sportscaster?
I don't know. I think he's gonna be something like Dwyane Wade.
I'm sorry. What was that name you used again?
You heard me, Dwyane Wade.
I'm gonna go back on silent mode and I'm gonna let you cook because I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm not touching that. No.
Oh, okay.
I definitely get a guy like that having an impact in high school and having a following like that.
Right.
And Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, he went to school there. I mean, not in Charlotte, but in North Carolina. And you know how Duke and UNC play. You know what type of hold they have on North Carolina as a whole. And there's a bunch of schools in North Carolina.
Now, mind you, I said Dwyane Wade, right? But I'm not talking about what Dwyane Wade accomplished on the floor. I'm not talking about what RJ Barrett accomplished on the floor. Yeah, I was stating that earlier. I'm talking about like this weird cult stardom following thingy. Like I never felt like, as long as I was watching Dwyane Wade, I never felt like he was the best player in the NBA ever during his career. I never felt like he was the best player. Maybe not even at his position. Right?
I don't know. I gotta look at that year. Dwyane Wade was like the best
I never
player
felt
in
like
basketball.
I never felt like Dwyane Wade was a better NBA player than in the early years. Like he was never better than LeBron and Carmelo. Right? That's LeBron and Carmelo was in his draft class. Right? So think about that. Like in Carmelo's, I mean, in Dwayne Wade's draft class, you have LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, right?
Right.
And out of that group, I always felt like at best, Dwayne Wade may have been the 5th best player in the NBA. Right? He might have been maybe the 5th best player in the NBA. At worst, he was a top 15 player. At worst. And we're still talking about Tim Duncan is in the league. Dirk is in the league. Kobe is in the league. Vince Carter is in the league. There's still a lot of talent in the NBA. So I'm not trying to diminish Dwayne Wade, but what I'm saying is when Dwayne Wade went anywhere, there was like this weird, like for instance, when Carmelo Anthony left Denver, were there any? Do you think there were any Denver Nugget Carmelo Anthony fans left? Carmelo leave and go to New York. What's the NBA landscape like? Carmelo is just a towards the end when Denver fans knew Carmelo was asking for a trade, they weren't riding for Carmelo. Like, man, keep him at all costs. They was like, he want to go, let him go. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Wade, nah, man. Heat fans, bro, you can go to an NBA game right now, man, and people still love Dwayne Wade, bro. Right now. Right now, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and I think RJ is developing that, like developing this thing that's going to be bigger than basketball. Last night, bro, I was like, yo, when I saw that, I was like, what are they rooting for? But I didn't know the Mount Verde connections. I forget RJ Barrett played high school ball in Orlando, so I forgot about that. But yeah, man. But I think
I'm having trouble with that Dwayne Wade star comparison, or even player comparison. D Wade had a moment of being or considered the best player in the league.
Mind you, RJ Barrett has never been the best player in the league. RJ Barrett has never even been the best player on his team.
Right.
Let me clarify that. RJ Barrett has never been the best player in the NBA. Not even close. He never even been the best player on his team, not even in stretches. Maybe for one night, but not for stretches.
Okay, so
that's on the court.
I have to experience what you're saying. The times that I've seen the Knicks at the Barclays with him on the roster, I didn't necessarily get that feeling. Like, oh, this kid's got that it factor. It don't matter how this really turns out. Like he has star potential. He has star marketability.
I think it's something. It's something about him, bro. And this is okay. Last night, and so last night we watching them, and you could see like the one girl behind me. That was weird, right? That's an anomaly. Only reason why I said that is because, you know what I'm saying, I want to reiterate that outside of our social networking thing, when you experience certain stuff, you're just going to encounter certain stuff, right? Like leaving Spectrum Center last night, not changing the subject, but just to throw on something weird. Last night, we're leaving Spectrum Center, and Knicks fans were chanting F. Trae Young. And you know, they said the whole thing out, F. Trae Young, F. Trae Young. And per our usual exit, our war cry as we leave these arenas, as we storm out of your building, we chant, "Let's go Knicks." It's just a thing, right? "Let's go Knicks" as we exit the opposing team's arena. Win or lose, lose by 20, win by 20. Let's go Knicks. And it's aggravating. You can see the home staff like dressed up in their team colors, whether it's teal and gold or red and yellow or red, white, and blue. When we leave the arena, we screaming, "Let's go Knicks." And the home staff is like, I just wish they would hurry up and get out of here. Because we like the obnoxious guest, right?
Right.
But the RJ thing, though, is I know I'm stating it very early in the process, but bro, I think there's something to it. I don't think and so what my impression is of it is I don't think the Knicks are gonna even think about trading RJ Barrett if there is a following like this behind RJ Barrett. I think knowing that passionate people spend money on certain things, and those passionate people might spend money on RJ Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be less likely to be traded or moved, especially for a guy that's non-assuming.
So keeping RJ Barrett is to sell tickets and sell jerseys.
No, I don't think it's that. I'm thinking one thing leads to the other, though. I'm not saying that keeping RJ Barrett is only to do that. I'm saying RJ Barrett is gonna do that. D'Angelo is in the building. What's good, man?
Salute
I'm thinking
D'Angelo.
one.
Haven't seen you in a minute, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh, finish what you were saying, though.
No, I'm saying I think the cat has something to him that Julius Randle does not have. Well, can you imagine if with RJ Barrett's popularity and Julius Randle's production, what type of player you'd have?
Yeah, you have a player that you can put out there as your franchise player.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that's why this pairing is going to be together for a while.
Possibly.
Right?
Possibly.
RJ's the face, Julius the muscle, and together you can win games and then sell packages and merch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's got
for a championship, man. I mean, that's nice. I get that part. I get that business part. I'm thinking, man, but is that we're trying to win the championship?
Oh, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not disputing that. I'm talking about this thing in the moment. Because winning the championship, you're not just gonna snap your finger or wave a wand and it's gonna happen. This is just not.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure. If that was the case, it would have been done. I would snap my fingers for years.
Yeah. If that was the case, you'd have never had RJ Barrett because you wouldn't have been. The Knicks would never have been bad enough to get RJ Barrett.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, and so ultimately, what I'm getting at is, and I know, people will have different experiences and things of that sort. So what I said may not be what other people experience. I'm not getting ready to come up here and just shoot the gas about RJ Barrett because I honestly wanted to talk about how good I think Emmanuel Quickley can be. But if we keeping it a buck, though, some of these kids can't stay, bro. You know what I'm saying? RJ Barrett is one of the kids that has got to stay. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's a random Tuesday night in the smallest market in the NBA, you got 14,000 people, bro. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. in the smallest, one of the smallest markets, not the smallest city, but in terms of dollar power, you know, and for you to have that many people, and trust me, I know I was in traffic. Trust me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, to come to see the Knicks and for them to be rooting for RJ. RJ Barrett was 1 for 10. 1 for 10 at one point, bro. Looking awful. And the one time he do something good, the whole arena erupt. Jared Fitz said they said 19,000 last night. It might have been that number, bro. It may have been. I ain't gonna lie to you. It may have been that number. I don't know what the actual number was. I know up in the nosebleeds was where I was at. It was packed up in the nosebleeds, right? But it's always packed in the nosebleeds because that's where the cheap tickets are. What happens is you usually fill up, you know, with the most reasonable tickets and kind of work your way down. Chef NYK is in the building. It was a pleasure to meet you last night, boss. So I met Chef NYK last night, man. Yeah, man. First time meeting Chef NYK, bro. Getting out, meeting this, bro. That was a great experience last night. Getting to meet Chef NYK. So I met Chef NYK, Adam, and Greenie in the same day. That was dope. We didn't get to see Cormega. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get to see Cormega, but you know, there'll be other times. You know. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Jerry Fitz said they said it was the third highest attendance ever. Wow. It sure felt like it too, Chuck. It sure felt like it, man. Yeah, man.
Wow. Okay.
For your New York Knicks. Yeah, man.
Well, I can definitely see Orlando, Atlanta, Charlotte. Those are all transplant cities. Like New Yorkers are in full effect in those places.
New York is a transplant city too now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
That's where all the immigrants come from. Man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Immigrants, people move to the city all the time. LA too. You have some of everybody in those areas,
Yep.
but
Miami, yes.
Oh, for sure. So
Yeah,
when you have people in those cities like Atlanta and Charlotte and even Orlando to a certain extent, is New York is getting tired of paying all that high rent and see that they can get a house down here for like $350 and it's 6,000 square feet and you got
paved driveway, 3-car garage, an acre of land out back,
and a pool. It's like
a pool.
I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah, man.
Just on the side note, like I used to, like go to different, real estate websites and see what was out there. And man, you used to see all these mini mansions, 600,000, 500,000 foreclosures down in Atlanta, and it was all gone. Everybody was like, nah, going to Atlanta, and I'm about to be living my best life. So if New York is in the house, they're gonna show up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, man.
So, okay. Listen, man. I'm not gonna downplay his star power. But I don't know. I don't know about that Dwyane Wade, like,
yeah. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'm not saying what Dwayne Wade did on the floor because we ain't gonna have that ridiculous conversation. I ain't gonna take part in no comparing RJ Barrett numbers to Dwayne Wade numbers and the accomplishments right now. That ain't what I'm saying. But I'm talking about how people attach their wagons to Dwayne Wade just off rip. How they like him. And we all like who we like. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's hip hop or fashion or cars or jewelry or shoes or houses, we all like what we like. You know what I'm saying? So, but the RJ Barrett people just seem to like RJ Barrett. I mean, what? I mean, you know, I mean, how y'all know I'm just not just randomly making up a thing because we could be talking about the trade deadline, right? And we'll probably get to that, but I'm not just making that up. You can look at RJ Barrett jersey sales. If we think it's just a gimmick, look at RJ Barrett jersey sales. RJ Barrett is the third best player on a marginal playoff team. And his jersey sales numbers are ridiculous. For somebody, that's the third best player behind a dude that don't want to talk to the media and another guy that don't want to talk to the media, zero personality, and Jalen Brunson. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can see his marketability for sure. I would think his play would have more to do with his cachet than anything else. Because once people deem you as that dude, you know what I mean? Like that follows you for forever wherever you go. However many years you play in this league, people will always remember you as that guy. Okay. Like I ain't mad at it. Like for most of the people out there, man, I'd rather RJ. We slow burn this thing with RJ and hope in 8 years that he's that guy for us for sure. Other franchises took time with their guys, so
Right.
RJ is buying his own. Come on, come on, man. That dude ain't buying his own jersey. Nah, man. He has a cult like following on this team, man. It's Obi, RJ, Quickley and Mitch, Quickley, Mitch, then maybe Grimes, where people would just head over heels for them.
Right.
And to a certain extent, yeah, man, they deserve it. Quentin Grimes is a hard worker. Is he where he needs to be? Nope. I ain't tripping. He's only a second year player.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But he has the foundation of what Knicks fans have been accustomed to. Well, let me not say accustomed to, because we've been accustomed to losing for a while. But he brings that defense and grit that we loved of the 90s. But he's more of a modern player because he can shoot and he's way more athletic than most of the guys that we've had at shooting guard.
Okay.
I mean, the only person I can think of like athletic wise from the shooting guard position that we've had of late, and this is a while ago, maybe J.R. Smith. Like we haven't had anybody with that type of athleticism.
Man, that was 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was 10. Yeah, that
So,
was 10 years ago, man.
And one of the things they would say, "Oh man, if JR could have ever played defense," and then once he started playing defense, he became the guy you love to hate. You know, like you love him, but you hate. Oh my goodness, he's shooting the ball from behind the back. Oh, it's good. Okay. Quentin Grimes ain't that. Quentin Grimes is the lunch pail guy. He's punching in his time clock. He putting in overtime, and he's not going to complain about anything. Right? We like that. We like that. Blue collar guy.
Okay.
RJ Barrett is another blue collar guy. Like you've made this point maybe last year or the year before last, like around this time, you were saying that this team is built in a specific image. And if you look at the guys that we have, like none of these guys cause any waves. Like these are good, quiet, respectable guys, but they play the game the right way.
Right.
So for a lot of fans, man, that goes a long way in with you connecting with the guy. Like
right.
Immediately the first time we saw Deuce pick up somebody 40 feet, like, wait a minute, this is a summer league game. He's up under him like that. I like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have these allegiances to these guys, or because we see these things these qualities that we like. The Knicks need a face of the franchise. It can't be Juju, unfortunately, because we saw them give it to everybody but him who came into the organization.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though he's the all-star, he's not. He ain't Pat Ewing.
He's the Pascal Siakam. Oh, Julius Randle is the Pascal Siakam of all stars.
Wow.
It's like who? Him? Yeah, he good. But yeah, no. Let's bring in Scotty Barnes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm gonna say this, man. I think we are in a tough spot though with Tibbs. There were some things I saw last night with Tom Thibodeau, and excuse me, some things I don't like. Like under no circumstance should Quentin Grimes be guarding Pablo Banchero.
None.
Right? But at every opportunity, Quentin Grimes is trying to guard Pablo Banchero. And I don't know if Quentin Grimes understands physics, but a Jack Russell Terrier and an English Mastiff in an arm wrestling contest.
Oh, it's over.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yes,
in
sir.
the arm wrestling contest between a Jack Russell Terrier and a Bull Mastiff, I think the English Mastiff. I think the English Mastiff will win in an arm wrestling contest, right?
Right.
But the Jack Russell Terrier don't know that.
No.
You gotta pull the Jack Russell Terrier back. Like, hey man, nah man, just arm wrestle with other Jack Russell Terriers. You're like, no, I got it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I saw a lot of that last night in Quentin Grimes. Like, he don't back down from nothing, Chuck.
Right. And you gotta appreciate
CWC.
Mr. Franklin in the building.
Charlie Ward cousin in the building. CWC, I'm down here in Florida. I was looking for a hoop game. I ain't seen you yet. You said you could ball, right? I ain't seen you yet. I've been in Orlando about 3 weeks now. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. CWC, where you at? You talk about you can ball. I mean, I've been down here for a couple of days. I ain't seen you yet. CWC, you better not be playing in no old man league.
The senior citizen.
Yeah. CWC, I'm not playing in a 60 and over league, bro.
And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But then, like you said, that's an issue with the coach. Like,
Yeah.
Yo, man, I know he's a guy that is not going back down. I know he's going to play the best defense that he can on someone. But yo, don't do that.
Right. You're talking about Grimes, right?
Yeah, avoid that. Yes.
Does he understand that he's a Jack Russell Terrier?
Probably not.
Probably not. Do Jack Russell Terriers know that they're not big dogs? Probably not.
No, probably not. Not until they get touched, then they realize, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like in the heat of the battle,
right.
No, they don't know they little. They don't know they little at all. They got all of the fight and the grit that you want.
They see everybody as a Chihuahua,
right?
Until they get touched.
Until that paw get put on them. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And so yeah, I'm not talking about dog fighting in that sense. I'm not against. I'm a pet lover, no. Right? I'm a pet lover, right? But what I'm saying is in this grand comparison, I'm trying to like do the classes. I thought about doing a cars comparison first, but you could soup up any car to beat any car, just about most. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and then when it comes to other stuff, it comes to perspective. But in terms of classes, when you're talking about Grimes is a Jack Russell Terrier, and he's surrounded by Chihuahuas, right? So when he sees a big dog, like when he sees a German Shepherd, he's like, "Yeah, man, we about the same size, man. I go get him." No. I'll beat him in the arm wrestling contest. No, you will not beat a German Shepherd in the arm wrestling contest, Quentin Grimes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? My thing is, I guess ultimately what I'm getting at is at this trade deadline, the Knicks have to do something. Right.
Oh, okay. Before you go there, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to say, if we made a trade at the trade deadline, would it make a difference because of the coach? Because I was thinking you was alluding to the coach not putting him in the best position and making sure he's not getting caught on a switch with Paulo Ranchero, or because I have issues with Tom Thibodeau's coaching.
Okay.
And how he uses guys. I don't think he gets the most out of his roster. I don't think he puts everyone in the position to be successful, because I think that's the sign of a great coach. Even if you don't have the best parts, right? You use those parts at the best of their abilities. Okay. Like you maximize those parts. I don't think Tom does that. Go ahead.
I disagree with you, and the reason why I disagree is when you say that, it sounds as if you think this roster has more talent than it really does at the moment. Right? Like, because for instance, I saw Jericho Sims wide open at least 5 times, right? I saw Hartenstein, who was in foul trouble last night. I saw him open at least 5 or 6 times. But when they're wide open and you get them the ball, what are they going to do with it?
Fumble.
Right? Yeah. And so and so Jericho Sims. Okay, so two things for everybody thinking that that the Knicks don't run a motion offense, man. Y'all got to stop, man, and make y'all sound crazy. Your cats. I saw going into the thing. Tibbs better be moving people around on offense, man, because Orlando, blah, blah, blah. Man, listen. It's two things, right? For one, the Knicks don't have a high flyer, right? Who is the Knicks high flyer, right? And please, for the sake of everything holy, don't tell me Obi Toppin name, because Obi Toppin is not a physical guy, right? These guys are not like physical guys. Like Obi is not the guy that's going to put the ball on the floor and go to the rim and yam in traffic. Gregory Castillo said Mitch and Sims. Bro, if you give it to Sims away from the basket, even though what's he going to do, jump up and down?
Well,
Jericho Sims is not going to handle the ball and make a move going to the basket.
No, he's not. He's not.
And neither is Mitch. Bro, I'm saying.
That is the reason I brought up the Ben Simmons thing. You can say what you want. He has the low post game. He has the hook. He has the floater. And one thing that he will do is put the ball on the floor and attack the rim. And that's something that we don't have. And that's something that I've always said. Every time our big men get the ball, the first thing they're doing is looking for someone to pass the ball to get it out of their hands. So you're absolutely right, You pass the ball to them away from the basket, they can't do anything. They're giving it up. Right.
And so DSJ, this is the point I'm getting at, like just addressing with DSJ. Put in the chat, bro. Anybody in the NBA that's 7 foot tall can catch a lob at the rim, bro. What I'm saying, what I'm getting at is this. And never mind, I ain't even gonna speak to it. I'm gonna just go ahead and stay on the regular course, because the time it just made me think people don't know basketball, but they talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like how do you bro? I don't get it. And that's not a shot at nobody. It's just what I hear is stuff like, man, if only Tibbs would feature Obi. Bro, we run the offense where everybody touching it. I saw, again, you watch it on television, you watching it in person, and you see these guys. There every now and then you'll see Randall grab a rebound and come down and just go straight into his post move, and you wish Randall would have just gave the ball up and let everybody touch it. But you also see Jalen Brunson do that. Like Sims will get the rebound, give it to Brunson. Yo, hey, Greeny is in the building. What's good, Greeny?
Greeny. Salute, my brother. Man.
Yo, Brunson will get the ball from Sims and bring it down, and he will dribble that basketball to death, not pass to anybody, and get up his mid-range shot. You wish that he would pass it more often, but they do what they feel like is effective for them, right? But what I'm saying is what the Knicks lack is a Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Nobody can dispute. I think DSJ trolling. He was like, could it be Tom Thibodeau's system? As fun. Could it be Knicks fans are flawed?
Yo.
That's the question. Could it be Knicks fans are flawed, bro?
We can. We can't. One thing that I've noticed about us as fans, like we have our own idea of how this team should be ran and what we
right.
Because you can tell by the names that we agree and disagree with in the chat when it comes to trades and who we should get. So I think folks have these things in their minds of how it's supposed to go or what is supposed to be done, and when it's not done that way,
Right.
there's an issue with the coach or issue with the player.
Right.
And I think that all comes down to, like, yeah, you never really played any type of sport, because then you wouldn't be this wayward with your thinking. Like, it's like this. You're a person who's guessing. You don't really have any experience in this area. I'm sorry about that.
No, ain't nothing.
Excuse me. Here we go.
Yeah, so my thing is, so yesterday I was on Nick's Twitter just lurking, not replying, because I don't like getting caught up in these weird conversations, right? But on Twitter, it's like everybody's saying, well, Tibbs don't have an offense. And when you man, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Every NBA team runs the same offenses. They run the same offenses, man. Every NBA team runs some version of the same offense. You know what I'm saying? Every NBA team runs the same version. They run the same offense, right? They may not run it as much or as little or with the same personnel groupings, but every NBA team runs the same offense. You see them run read and react. You see them run high screen pick and roll. You see them run variations of the pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the ball handling, whether it's the personnel groupings or some variation or change to the pick and roll. You see them at times run some type of motion. They generally run motion offense with their second units because the second units don't have the best players, right? Or you see them run a mid-post ISO with their best player, you know what I'm saying, with three shooters and one slasher. Everybody run the same stuff. And so when I hear like Knicks fans are like, the offense is old school, is inundated. It just, you know, it reminds me of one person says some buzz phrase, a million people don't know what to say, so they just say the same buzz phrase that they heard that one guy say because it sounds smart,
right?
And it stops them from looking like crazy, right? Everybody runs the same. Every NBA team, because Chuck, think about this. Think about this. You remember in the 90s in the NFL, right? You remember how teams ran different offenses, yeah, right? Like how the New York Giants would run I formation, right?
Right.
The Houston Oilers was running the run and shoot. The San Francisco 49ers was running the West Coast offense. Right. All these things. The Atlanta Falcons was running up tempo, right? Whatever, right? All these teams were like running different offenses. So you knew from week to week what you were facing, right?
Right.
In the NBA, when you go into a game, there is no West Coast offense. There is no run and shoot, right? There is no I forget what the Falcons used to run, where they used to run two running backs, but they had two pass catching running backs and two receivers. So they were passing. They just passing to, they basically no tight end, no fullback. They basically passing to running backs and wide receivers, right?
Right.
In the NBA, there is no one distinct offense. And then when I brought this up to somebody else, they was like, that's not true because Golden State runs. No, that is absolutely true. Golden State does not run a innovative offense. What they've done is they've taken the old school San Antonio offense with Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan, right? And mixed it with a little triangle, right? A little triangle in there where everybody that catches it has two options. Two options to pass, or dribble or shoot, right? When you ask Knicks fans, okay, if Tibbs don't have an offense, what's Brooklyn running? And people will say, well, they just drag a big man out to the top. Oh, you mean they run high ball screen and roll? That's what they're running. And so they're like, nah, but it looked different, man, because of they run. No, the Knicks run the same thing, bro. Right. The difference is one team used to have Kyrie Irving running it, and the other team used to have Jalen Brunson running it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right, Uncle. You're right. I think also some of this is because Knicks fans hitch their wagons to guys, and when those guys don't get the playing time or stats that they think they should, that is definitely thrown out. It's the coach. I think guys could be used differently. I think Obi Toppin's not a 3-point shooter. And for that reason, you might need to look elsewhere, get somebody that can actually do that instead of have him out there being a fish out of water.
Okay.
But as far as we don't run an offense, I'm not of that camp.
Yeah. You hear that a lot though.
But I also think it's because we don't have guys to execute at a high level like these other teams.
Right.
The pick and roll looks so effective, let's just say in Golden State, is because the roll man can finish. He can catch the ball, not fumble it, finish at the rim. And if you play off, you know that these guys are marksmen from the outside and they're going to hit. So they have a high success rate. But when you don't have shooters and you don't have big men that can finish and handle the ball, then it looks discombobulated and it looks like you're not running anything, right? The bulk of our offense, or the scoring rather, is Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. Right. Those are the guys that are going to get the ball. Yeah, some other people going to get it too, but those are your scorers. Those are your guys. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen averaged the most points on the team, but it wasn't like Tony Kukoc never got the ball.
Right.
There's a reason why those guys get the most touches, and there's a reason why Randy Brown never was an all-star.
Scott Burrell and all of them, yeah.
Right. And I'm sure there were people that believed in them too. Like, yo, man, if he just got a chance, he could be Isaiah Thomas. No, he can't. No, he can't.
Yeah.
No, he can't.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this roster, where do you see the holes? What is the first thing, if you're the GM, that you attack within the next 24 hours?
You need some big wings, bro.
Okay.
You gotta have it. And I don't mean like 6'7", 205. I'm talking about like 6'8", 215, 220.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about like the McDaniel brothers. One of them out of Charlotte, one in Minnesota, or Jared Vanderbilt. Who's more of a power forward, like more of a 4-5 than a 3-4-5. But yeah.
hunger for more. When you say we have no identity, what do you mean we have no identity?
Right.
We have no defensive identity. We have no offensive identity. What exactly do you mean by that?
I can answer that for him.
Yes, sir.
It's we don't have a thing that we can go to impose our will. Like we don't have a specific thing that we can impose on other teams and make them submit. Right? Like we can't barrage you from three, or we don't have a post player that we can go to in the post that gets you 2, 3, 4, 5 straight buckets down there and make another team adjust. We don't have a suffocating defense that when we decide to lock down like a certain unit of players, like the Hampton Five, where we can just smother every inbound pass, every catch, every shot, every rebound, every dribble. We don't have that, right? So basically what we watch is a team that just wants to play good basketball. So we don't necessarily have the identity to do a go-to. We don't have a finisher, right? We don't have a finisher for you. Like we don't have that move where it's like we don't have that move where it's like the Heartbreak Kid. What's like in theory? Yeah. We don't have that. When a team get ready to go on a run, we don't have a sweet chin music. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a DDT. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, with the difference between The Rock and Triple H is just a finisher. They got the same wrestling package. They entrance music different. They come out in different clothes, but once they start wrestling, they the same dude. The only difference is they finisher.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay. So is it the offensive package or defensive package, or is it the quality of players that prevent us from having those things, or one of those things, the suffocating defense, or the go-to plays for a specific player to get us unstoppable buckets in a row?
Nah, Chuck. You know what it is? Is in my opinion is absolutely this. We're a young developing team with 2 really good players. But for the most part, everybody else is a young developing player that has not met their ceiling yet. Right? And so what it is as Knicks fans, we really can't. We're at a point where we've run out of patience with these young players, right? And we're not saying that we run out of patience.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying that we've run out of patience, but you can tell. Because Knicks fans are like, yo, we got to do something. And what do we have to do? Do we have to take Grimes out of the starting lineup and put him on the bench? Do we have to take RJ Barrett out of the starting lineup and put him on the bench? Do we package Grimes and RJ to go get another player to help Brunson and Randall? Because Mitchell Robinson, though he is 24, 25, he's still a developing young player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's still developing. Right? And the same thing with RJ, he's still developing. Right? Grimes is still developing. McBride is still developing. Quickley is still developing. Obi is still developing. Right? And you can do one or two things. You can either be patient with them as they develop, right? Or you can go out and get a guy and speed up this winning process. Like with the tankers, in theory, what the tankers were saying at the beginning of the season is right, except for the tank part. We got to rebuild. We got to be patient. and like their the earmarks for their strategy is correct. The tanking part is wrong. You got to play these young players and let them develop. Give them minutes. Put them on the floor. But the part that's left out is you got to be patient with them as they develop.
Okay.
Right. And so if you because think about it, if you change horses mid race, like if you develop these kids to a certain point and then you decide that okay, they want Grimes and Quickley for OG Anunoby in order for us to be a second round playoff team, then all that stuff that you said in theory is thrown out the window.
Yep. Because
you're not patient with Grimes and Quickley. You know what I mean? And so like for those that are not patient with RJ Barrett, that you know are ready to move on from RJ, it's one of those deals where you've seen enough of RJ Barrett through say 300 games, and you're like, nah, this dude ain't it. I don't want to see no more development. I don't want to develop no more kids, man. We got to get him out of here. He ain't it. Right. But the next guy, if you trade him for a first round pick, the 19-year-old, basically what you're doing is resetting the clock. Basically.
Okay.
Basically, all you're doing is trading RJ will probably be 23 when that happens. If you trade him, he'll be 22, 23. Basically, you're just resetting the clock. Now you have to develop another young kid to take RJ place. Or
you get one of the generational talents. Sorry.
Yeah. So ultimately, if the thing I'd like to see the Knicks do is be patient with the kids, right? If they need to go out and get a guy, I say go out and get a guy that's their age. That's their age. A guy like Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, maybe. In that age range, like 26 and under. Go get those guys, bring them in. Yo, the son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building.
Salute.
Yeah, man. It just makes sense, right? It just makes sense that the Knicks would do that. Now, mind you, the trade deadline is about 30 hours away.
Right.
And if the Knicks have it's now or never, basically. It's now or never for the Knicks front office, because you got 30 hours to pull off a move. And if you're a Knicks fan, do you just want to see a trade?
No.
Just to validate the fact that your front office is a front office? I do. Because I ain't seen them do nothing. I want to see just do it. Just in my mind, Chuck, I understand what you're going, because you're reasonable and responsible. I'm not. I'm a Knicks fan, bro. I'm not reasonable nor responsible. I want to see this Knicks front office do something just so that we know that they're alive. Chat, anybody in the chat with me? I know y'all not going to agree with me, but I think a lot of y'all feel the same way, right? I want to see the Knicks front office do something to validate their existence. Why are y'all even here if y'all not doing nothing? You feel me?
But if they were trying to do something, if they were trying to do something by the trade deadline, it should have been in the works a month or so ago, right? I don't want them trying to make a last minute ditch effort in the 11th hour, and then we end up with somebody. You know what I mean? And then it's like, okay. When the pressures, I don't know if this front office is capable of handling that type of this type of pressure situation, because we watch Donovan Mitchell go to the Cavaliers. We watched DeJounte Murray go to the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
So I don't have that confidence that they'll make the right move in this short period of time. Like they'll panic and do something just to do something. And I'm not going to say it sets us back, but it has the potential of setting us back. Like I think it's a big asking price for OG Anunoby.
Right. Okay.
I know a lot of people are hyped on him. I asked the question, is he Kawhi Leonard? Because if he's not that, then there's no way you give up what you're giving up to get him. Because if you tell me, well, he could be that in a few years, well then then let's go get him in a few years.
Right. Oh, let's go get somebody similar right now and develop him. That's going to be, it's a lot of it's a lot of inroads to it, right?
Right.
Ultimately, what I think most Knicks fans want to do, based on the comments that I see, regardless of if they agree with the way that I say it or not, is the Knicks want some sense of we belong at the table too.
Okay.
That's what we want. We Knicks fans right now, and I know men ain't gonna tap into their feeling. Like a lot of men be like, no, Uncle Freezie, you wrong. But for the most part, everybody I talk to, and I'm polling the sense of a lot of people, a lot of us want the Knicks to do something so that we can be a part of the national conversation, so that we can feel like we belong in this playoff party, right? A lot of us, bro, we say it in a million different ways. People pull me to the side and talk me to death, and I listen for the most part, right? Like people pull me to the side, and Chuck, some of the stuff people say, you like, yo, you just talk to me. And I'm talking about in person. Like in person, people will pull me to the side and talk to me for like an hour, right? About all these 52,000 moves that we should do, right? I'm talking about in person. This is what they do. And I'll be like, I'll be trying to stay focused, Chuck. I'll be like, oh. But it's like Zombie Island, right? Oh, God. But basically what people telling me, Chuck, is they want to feel like the Knicks are important again. Knicks fans want to feel like they're important again, right?
Okay.
Like, cause the thing is, they're like, yo, we gotta do something. I'm like, yo, trade for OG Anunoby. No, man, the price too high. Well, what exactly do you want to do? Oh, they gotta do something. So when they say that, it gives me the sense,
right,
that Knicks fans just want to feel relevant, right? We tired of being the afterthought, right? That's why I think we are, right? Knicks fans are tired of being like the fourth or fifth most popular team in New York, bro. They tired of Knicks fans are tired of like going in the NBA store and it's all Steph Curry jerseys. Going in the NBA store, all you see is Celtic stuff. You know what I'm saying? You like, the Knicks fans are tired of being like, we don't have a top 20 player. You know what I'm saying? What about us? Yeah, and I know reasonable Knicks fans are gonna say out loud, they'll say, no, Uncle Freezie, you wrong, man. We just gotta say the cost. We just gotta build it the right way. But deep down inside, they're saying, nah, man, when are we gonna get our Giannis? When are we gonna get our KD? When are we gonna get our Kyrie? When are we gonna get our Luka?
When we get people in the front office that know how to draft,
yeah,
that's when we'll get them.
Right.
Because we can look at at least 7 to 10 years of fumbled draft picks.
Yeah.
And who we picked or who we weren't able to pick because we didn't have a pick, you saw who went in those drafts. You saw who went after we picked. We saw who was later on in the draft or went one pick before us.
Right.
I don't believe our front office goes in knowing what they're doing and having a backup plan in case that doesn't work. Like they don't have all their T's crossed and I's dotted.
Right.
I feel like they're going in there winging it, in my opinion. In my opinion, because I'm like, okay, y'all didn't get the guy that you wanted, and this is who y'all went and got.
Right. Yeah, and Chuck. So, just real quick, just to divert a little bit, but to come back, right?
Yes, sir.
The multiplicity of strategies is baffling in my mind because it all boils down to one thing, right? Go get a star. Do you trade for a star? Do you draft a star? A star not coming here in free agency. We already know that. You already know that. We don't need to go down that road. We know it's a dead end. Right. Ultimately, that's what I think the Knicks feel like we need. Can we get that player at the deadline? No. Now, this year is a weird year, right? Kyrie got traded at the deadline, and the San Antonio Spurs did a trade in season. Never happens.
Yes.
Never happens. The Spurs never trade in season, ever. And they made a trade in season, right? Which tells you this year is weird, right?
Okay.
So I think with this thing, with this year being weird, I think it gives people a sense that something can be done at the deadline. But here's the thing. OG Anunoby is not a star. OG Anunoby is just another good player. If you think you mid right now, you're going to be extra mid with OG Anunoby.
That's what I believe.
Bro, it's instead of being vanilla ice cream, you're just going to be vanilla bean ice cream. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Like OG Anunoby makes us Paris Duggar. I think Paris Duggar said it's a year of patience to perfect from it. Yep. So I'm there a little bit. But patience doesn't mean not doing anything. Patience means just not exerting or overusing resources to only get back to where you're going to be initially, right? Right. So ultimately, I think the Knicks fans want a star. They want to be relevant. Like, for instance, LeBron James set the all-time leading scorer record last night, right? LeBron James is the NBA's all-time leading scorer, right? Right.
Yes, sir.
They played OKC. OKC played the Lakers in a nationally televised game. The Oklahoma City Thunder, who has a worse record than us, showcased all their young talent last night. Yes. You got to see Giddey, Man. You got to see their two draft picks, man. I'm sorry.
The Jalen's.
Yes, you got to see both of them last night, right? And then what you did good.
They did good. They did good.
Yeah, you know what they did? You know what you didn't get to see last night, though? The crown gem out of this year's draft class, Chet Holmgren. You know what I'm saying? So right. as good as that was, as good as they looked last night, they have a million draft picks, which is hyperbole, but you didn't even get to see the crown gem of their draft classes. You know what I'm saying? And so for the Knicks, we played the Sixers the other night. Right? Who's the crown gem of what we drafted?
Who's the crown gem?
In chat, and this is the trick question. Because I said something earlier, a lot of people disagreed, and I'm asking this question now, and watch they go back and grab the data that I said earlier and use it right now. Who's the crown gem of all the young Knicks players that we have?
I'm not answering it because I know where I know where you're going. Let's see what the chat has to say.
DSJ, Bim, RJ Barrett.
There you go.
RJ Barrett. But then an hour ago when we was talking about RJ Barrett, there was a lot of RJ Barrett just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like so what do you and Justin DW says, but we're not on the same timeline. The thing about it is I'm not talking about like the starting point or the ending point. I'm talking about the progress in between. Right? Just because OKC started at a different place than we started, and we're all trying to head the same way. I'm talking about how much progress, regardless where you started at, how much progress have you made since that starting point?
Right.
You know, it's because think about this: is Jalen Brunson a better player than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Can the Oklahoma City Thunder acquire a star?
Yes.
Look at their history. Tell me if they can acquire a star to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Can they acquire one? For sure.
Can they bring in a star to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma if they want to?
Yes.
Can the Knicks do that?
No.
To New York City, New York.
No, because we haven't done it yet. OKC has the young assets and the draft capital to go get anybody they want. If they wanted to go get a big three, they have the ammunition to go get a big three. Right. And we've seen in the past that they're able to go make that deal to get the guy that they want.
Hey, Hinton Murphy said only by trade, bro. That's absolutely not right.
Paul George went there as a free agent, didn't he?
No, Paul George was traded there for Oladipo and Sabonis, and then he re-signed there as a free agent.
Okay.
Yeah, but Murphy, you wrong. Murphy is usually right about everything. This one right here, we can't say that when we saw them draft Westbrook, Harden, Durant, Reggie Jackson, Eric Mena, Serge Ibaka, Steven Adams. You know what I'm saying? They draft good players.
That's what we need, huh? We need a guy that knows how to draft. But clearly we can't. And we can't say, well, they drafted RJ Barrett. They could have messed that up. They could have not drafted RJ, but they went.
Murphy said drafting doesn't count. Yeah, drafting counts, bro. It counts. It's one of the ways you can bring. Sorry, Chuck.
No. Drafting does count because all those names, well, not all those names, but Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, those guys are going into the Hall of Fame.
They moonwalking into the Hall of Fame, bro.
Easy. If this young core that they have stay together, or they can keep most of those guys together for 10 years, or at least 5, we might be saying the same thing about these guys that they just got their hands on. The Josh Giddeys, the Chet Holmgrens, the SGA, they could be on that same trajectory too. So OKC knows how to bring in guys. They know how to make deals. And they're savvy. Like, even with the Paul George trade to the Clippers, like they set themselves up for for the foreseeable future. They got a young guy to build around, SGA. They were trying to get, if I'm not mistaken, they were trying to get Shamet too, but the Clippers was like, nah, we're not gonna give you Shamet. But they got 5 first-round picks and 5 pick swaps.
Okay.
Sounds like front offices know what they're doing.
Okay. All right. So if I misled the conversation by saying acquiring stars, man, what I meant is just acquiring stars. I didn't mean it in a. And let me rephrase the way I said it. So I may have misled, but what I'm talking about is acquiring star level talent. You know what I'm saying? How some franchises can acquire star level talent whenever they want to, right? Give me an example: the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets just traded away Kyrie Irving for Spencer Dinwiddie, basically, in theory, Spencer Dinwiddie, right? They have Kevin Durant, and they'll probably trade Kevin Durant for this summer a Rudy Gobert type trade. Like I legit see Kevin Durant in Miami, and there's nothing the Knicks can do about it. Right. I see Tyler Hero and all of them dudes being in Brooklyn. Right. But the Knicks, on the other hand, are watching all these things happen around them. And we can't really adjust to it. Right. That's just what I'm thinking, man. You know, and for that reason, I think Knicks fans, for the most part, want to see the Knicks front office do something at the trade deadline, because they want to see the Knicks front office show the ability to compete and keep up with other front offices in the NBA. That's why I think the Knicks fans want to see the Knicks do something. Can the Knicks do something significant?
Maybe.
Possibly. But even the Spurs traded Dwayne Dedmon for a second. I mean, traded for Dwayne Dedmon. You know what I'm saying? And they never trade during the regular season. That's a running joke. The Spurs never trade in season. That's like, they may trade every now and then in the draft, move up and down the draft, or shuttle some. So this year we're in a tough spot, bro. I just feel like, and I'm in that group. I want to see. I'm at a crossroads with the front office. I want to see. Yo, Heck is in the building. What's good? What's good, boss?
Morning brew. Salute.
Yeah, man. I want to see if this front office has the ability to pull off that savvy move that we know elite front offices can do. And if they don't, then it's more of this waiting game. You know, I you know what? And Chuck, I'm not gonna lie to you. The fact that Dolan came out with the heavy-handed cosign, like how you know your boss is encouraging you to do better, is when he come out of his office and slap you on the back all hard. Good job, man. Keep up the good work. I have total faith in you. That pat on the back is not really a pat on the back. It's a nudge.
Yeah.
It's a nudge. Like, hey, do something.
Right.
So it's a. But chat, what do y'all think? Y'all think this front office is savvy enough to do something? Y'all think this y'all think this front office is savvy enough to pull off an elite move to show you, to prove to you that they are, they have the exquisite touch, the feathery touch to pull off a complicated transaction without rocking the boat around the NBA or rocking the boat on his team?
I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they do. Anthony D says, "Heck no."
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't have a real good feel for the front office. You know, maybe you don't know what I mean, but I don't get a sense of what they might do. Like, they've been so stealthy with the things that they've done and the information that they've put out. I do think that improving the roster is on the forefront of their minds. Like, listen, we got to do something, right? I don't know what it is, and I hope it's not a panic move that a year from now we're like, why did we make this move? Or it's something silly, like a lateral move. We trade one guy for a guy that's just like the guy we just traded. That doesn't make any sense. Like the Reddish deal.
Yeah, and after looking at that Cam Reddish deal, bro, it's looking more and more like we absolutely washed over the Hawks in that deal. We gave them the most heavily protected. That's the pick that I said is being guarded by the Secret Service. You've never seen protections like that on a draft pick, bro. Right. That's like that's the Secret Service pick, right? Mm-hmm. We gave them the Secret Service pick and Kevin Knox, right? But then they sent us a draft pick back, which is a second round pick in the 2025 draft, right? So basically, in theory, all we did was get what we were going to get from that first round pick. We just got it at a determined time, right? And we got Cam Reddish and Solomon Hill, which was salary cap, right? Salary cap savings, right? So that we can help get Jalen Brunson. And if we trade Cam, depending on what we get, because right there at that point, the trade is even. Mm-hmm. If we get anything for Cam Reddish, we won the trade. Watched it. If we get a young player back, we watched him in the trade. If we get a pick back, we hot stepped in the trade, right? Because think about it. In theory, what we would have done. Say you get 2 picks. Say you get 2 picks for Cam. I'm just say a 2028 second rounder and a 2027 second rounder, right? So in theory, you traded a heavily protected pick, which if it didn't convey would have got you 2 second round picks, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get 2 seconds for Cam, that means in theory you've got 3 second round picks for that pick that would have only gotten you 2, right? And then we feel like that Cam Reddish is a better player than Kevin Knox. And we got Solomon Hill, which saved us money for us to be able to go out and get Jalen Brunson. Right. So the deal on its surface looked like, hey, man, we gave up a first round pick. Yeah, we gave up a first round pick, but that first round pick came with so much drama. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Like being on the dating scene. You know how you be on the dating scene, you meet somebody that's super fly, and then you find out they credit bad, and their boyfriend got a restraining order out on them, and they got all types of little stuff that go along with it. You're like, oh God, yeah.
I want to ask you something because I read something from Hinton that's interesting because it was on the back of my mind. The New York Knicks tax on trades. How, regardless of who is being traded, like we have to put so much more into the trade, right? We'll have to do the 3 unprotected first round picks plus 3 young players to get that quote unquote said star. And we're looking like, yo, man, that's a lot. Then that player gets traded for less than what the asking price
Oh, with the reported asking price, yeah.
Right. And so now we have the fans looking like, yo, we could have made that deal. We had this and this. We could have done that.
Right.
But I feel like there might be a thing called the Knicks Tax. Well, the Knicks won't want our players? Okay, let's put our tax on them. Because you know they're desperate.
Right.
And if they bite, they bite. If they don't, then whoever has the better deal.
So pay it.
Okay. Pay the tax. Okay.
Yeah, pay it. What's the alternative is not paying it and not getting the guy.
Okay. So
If you know the tax exists, pay it. I mean,
but the tax only exists for you.
Yeah.
It don't exist for anybody else.
So, I mean, the thing is, it's not about being fair. It's about operating. It's about operating expenses. Mm-hmm. It's not fair that New Orleans will pay less in a trade than what the Knicks will pay. It's not fair.
Right.
But neither, you know what is not fair? The Garden selling out on a random Tuesday night against a bad team and the Pelicans playing the Golden State Warriors on a Saturday night and can't even sell out. That's not fair.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, you didn't pay it, man. I mean, what? Listen, man. Say the Knicks give up 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby, all of them unprotected, right? Say the Knicks give up 3 unprotected first-round picks for OG Anunoby, but they get to keep Grimes and Quickley and RJ and McBride and whoever. Say it's just a Fournier and 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby. You know what's going to happen by the time April get here? Knicks fans ain't going to remember what they paid. You know what I'm saying? The only time we remember what we pay for stuff is when it just don't work out. Because think about it, if we'd have paid all of that for Donovan Mitchell and Donovan Mitchell would have been here, so you think we'd have been talking about having Donovan is nice, but man, we sure paid it? No. People would have been wearing Donovan Mitchell jerseys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that.
Pay it, and it's funny that New Yorkers will say that, and they in the New York tri-state area, and a pack of cigarettes cost $20. A pizza costs $35. Don't get it delivered. Yeah, it's crazy. The Knicks tax, bro. I mean, just pay it. I got cousins, man. I know a pack of cigarettes don't cost $20, but it seemed like it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, they probably cost $20 in Manhattan for sure. It probably cost $20 in Manhattan for sure.
What in the city? Okay, all right.
Because they're like $15 at the legit places, but they got bootleg cigarettes around here, $7, $8 a pack. But sometimes, you do have to pay. You're going to have to pay a tax because the products at. Have you ever heard of the store called Williams Sonoma?
Okay.
It's like the expensive Walmart.
Okay.
Pretty much the same stuff that you could probably go get from a Macy's or a Belk's or whatever.
Right.
They have it there, but the prices are exorbitant. Like say a pot set at Macy's might cost you let's say $200, but at Williams Sonoma,
God, how much? $200.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I had to pay that. I had to pay that for my copper pots. It was $199. I bought them from Amazon though, but at Williams Sonoma they're gonna probably be like $2,000 or $1,500 for the same pots.
You want them pots though, right?
Yeah. If you want them pots, yeah, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay for them, or you know. I don't mind paying, but let's pay the price for the premium item.
Okay.
I don't want to pay the price for something that is
Okay.
or man, it's good, but you know what I mean? Like the iPhone, what, 14 is out? Like the 12 is not a bad phone.
Right.
I wouldn't mind. I would buy a 12, but I'm not going to pay the same price for a 12 as 14.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What if they won't sell you to 14? What if they won't sell you to 13? That's the spot that the Knicks is. That's the spot that the Knicks are in. The Knicks can't get Steph. The Knicks can't get Giannis. The Knicks can't get Jokic. So they got to settle. And your example given, see, you don't have access to the 14 or the 13 or the variations of the 12.
Right.
What you are being offered is the base model I-12 for the elite level I-14 price. And since you can't get access to the other one, you either have to pay it or continue using your iPhone 10. That's what the Knicks are. The Knicks are not in the Giannis, Jokic, Curry, Lillard conversations. Right? The Knicks are in the best available conversation. And they're gonna pay the tax for it.
Okay.
Right? And so with that said, what are you going to do? Are you going to just continue? Are you going to complain about that, or just pay the tax and get it over with? That's where the Knicks are, right? As Knicks fans, and we don't want to be in that conversation. We want to be in that upper echelon conversation. We want to be considered players for the elite talent that comes available, and especially since we have enough. We have the rabid fan base. We have all these things. We have the infrastructure. We have all these things that makes us elite, right? But the thing is nobody's going to give us that stuff. So we have to pay that elite price for it.
You made it.
So you just pay it and get it over with. And there won't be any regret in it, because if there is any regret in it, then the star that you were chasing was not worth it in the first place. Do you want the star or not?
Okay.
Because the Knicks are not Miami. The Knicks are not Brooklyn. The Knicks are not all these teams that we wish we were. We are not them, and they are not us.
Right.
Miami can go out and get a star anytime they feel like it. The Knicks can't. We have to work our way up. And it's sad that we have to do it that way. It's sad to be put in that context. But that's just where we are. And the sooner we realize that's where we are, I think the better we are as an organization. Or we can just stay on our current course of action. Build through the draft, build slowly, and go from there. Develop these kids. Tibbs is developing the kids right now in front of us, and we complain about that. We complain that we don't have a star. We complain that Tibbs is developing the kids, because people are saying, man, we run such basic stuff. Of course we run basic stuff, because we have young players trying to learn. Right. They're trying to learn on the fly. You know what I'm saying? You can't give, elite roles to guys that have only played less than 90 games. It's just, things just don't work out like that, man. You got to bring them along, or you're going to turn them into Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina. You're going to turn them into Damian Dotson. You're going to turn them into Alonzo Trier. I mean, and if that's what we want, if we want to throw them to the wolves, so to speak, and watch them lead the pack back and all these, throw them to the wolves, and then if they go out there and they take over the pack and be the leader of the pack, yeah, we see that with a lot of rookies, bro, and a lot of rookies wind up being lunch.
Yes.
Throw them to the wolves and see what happened. I already know I know what's gonna happen with a lot of these kids, bro. They're gonna be lunch. And then people are gonna say, like, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be, maybe they wasn't. Nah, bro, you can't throw away top 10 pick money. Top 10 pick money is somewhere between $7 and $10 million right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that draft pick. You can take 2 of those draft picks and trade them for a really good player. In theory, we could have took the Frank pick, the Knox pick, and traded them for a player on the cusp. Like we could have took the Frank pick, the Knox pick, and a good veteran and traded them for a Bradley Beal type player, but we didn't. We submitted the card with Frank Ntilikina name on it.
I don't even want to. As soon as you said those names, my mind went. Those were. I understand what you're saying, but even in those drafts, there were other guys that could have been picked, and that were picked afterwards. And this is the problem. This is the problem that I'm having, that I've had with the front office in these regimes. It seems like you guys are hustling backwards because, we were willing to put this package together to get Donovan Mitchell, but he was on the board for us to take, and we took Frank Ntilikina. Listen, even Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson could have been had. He was available in the second round. He was second round. He was a second round pick. Like, I think he went before Mitch.
Yeah, in the Knox draft.
Right, he was in the Knox draft, so I think he went before Mitch. You could have had him if you wanted to. You could have had him and Mitch because we had got Trey that year too, didn't we?
Yeah,
we got Trey that year too. So I don't know, but I have faith that this team is going to get better. And I don't know if that's guys stepping up, maturing into their roles, or it's going to be via trade. Like, we're going to make a big time move. I hope not. A hasty move. You know what I mean? Like, well, this is the best player available out there, so let's put an offer in and then get this guy that doesn't take us to another level. Like, they were just the star. Excuse me, the star that was available. Good morning.
Hey, Nick Yak, stop playing yourself. You playing yourself right now with these stupid comments. Everybody in the chat, 10 days ago, think about this, right? 10 days ago, Brunson was selfish and I'm trying to trade him. What are you even talking? Are you cognizant of what you type in? Nobody in here even said that. All the previous thing, man. Pay attention. Stay up to speed, man. Stop jumping out on a limb. Pay attention. Stop putting words in people. Come on, bro. Wake up.
Paris Leggett said the biggest problem, the fans who started with a narrative they can't get away from, face facts that you may be the problem, not the Knicks organization. Who is
Yeah,
or
yeah,
why?
man. Come on, man. What is this thing right here? Yeah, man. I don't even know. Yeah, yes, yeah. Y'all taking this thing to a whole nother ridiculous. They're just ridiculousness, man. Pay attention. Stay focused. So, or take a break or something. Get up and walk away, man, and take a deep breath and come back. Yo, Bully is in the building. What's good, man?
Salute. I don't. I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think they're going to make the big move. I think they're going to make in the off season. I think when the draft comes, it's either going to be moving up or moving those picks to get the guy. Because I mean, we have 4 potential.
Based on what? Is it based on what you think should happen, or based on what the pattern is from this organization?
I'm going to say the pattern of this organization. Like, because when they have their mind set on getting someone, like they could have gotten a veteran point guard or another point guard at the trade deadline last year, and they chose not to. And we were like, oh man, he can't run. Yo, we need a point guard. And they're like, okay, all right. And at the end of the season, they went and got their guy. They went and got Jalen Brunson. So I'm thinking that that's how they're going to operate. If there's a minor move to be made today, like possibly getting a Sadiq Bey or something like that, it will get done. But the quote unquote big fish, that superstar, I don't think that happens until this summer.
I don't know, bro.
That's too long to wait.
I don't see the Jalen Brunson thing is, to me, is an isolated thing. Of all the signings, of all 10, I think 10 or 11 signings, bro, I think the Jalen Brunson thing one is the one that they got right. But think about we can't just say that the Jalen Brunson one was their plan and then now they're geniuses. Right? Because there was Alfred Payton, there was Norvel Pell, there was Alec Burks, there was Austin Rivers, there was a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't want to just look at their timeline and pick out one thing that I feel like may have been correct and just have that be the gold standard. It's not.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's the thing. It's the thing. Like if I don't have faith in it, not because I don't think they do things right. I don't. My faith is low on them because I just hadn't seen enough activity in the right direction. Right? You feel me? Like I don't know if this thing is about. I don't know. Let me just. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. I think this trade deadline, they have to either do something or explain something. Like if they don't do anything, if they say something along the lines of let's just continue to have faith in these kids. These kids are the way that we should be moving, then I'd be okay with that. Right. But if it's one of them things where they don't do nothing and we get a statement from Knicks PR, then There's nothing they can say to me after that.
Okay. And I feel you on that. Hey, Anthony D, this is why I try to be optimistic, or at least because as a Knicks fan, man, you could get very bogged down with being frustrated with the front office. If you've been a fan as long as Anthony D, Uncle Freezie, or some of our elder statesmen, you've seen the incompetence for decades, right? Whiffing on trades, not signing the right guys, not putting a real championship caliber team around Patrick Ewing. Just all these things, right? If you don't look at it as glass half full, you'll get upset, man. You'll lose your hair, you'll turn gray, and you'll be talking crazy like some of these other folks in the chat. I just can't. I don't want to sound, crazy or disrespectful. To me, it's a game. I like the game, but I can't let it consume. Because I ain't playing.
All right. Well, what I'm getting at, man, is ultimately I feel like I know what the right direction and the right thing to do is, and I feel the responsibility, what way we should go. I feel like I know I have to be disciplined and patient, right? But also, with that said, when the promises made and the right course of action is laid out, usually there is something to accompany it to encourage being more patient. Like even in religion, in religion, right? Religion is live your life disciplined by a certain set of laws and all that stuff. And at the end of the road, you get promised a certain thing, right? Right. But with the Knicks, is be patient with us as we do this certain thing, and I'll holler at y'all again in 2 years. See how those two things don't equate? Like even in relationships, right? You do certain things, you walk a certain walk and do a certain thing, because ultimately when you start courting or start dating somebody, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the courting or dating period, there's some type of reward, right? With the Knicks, it's be patient. Notice how nothing follows? Mm-hmm. Notice how nothing follows, right? The thing is we're working on building a championship level team. And this is lawyers and PR departments saying all these different things, right, on what to say. But there is no reward for your patience. And that's where we are right now. And that's why I feel like a lot of people are saying that the Knicks have to do something at the deadline, because for the most part, unlike other organizations, for the most part, I think this stitch of time for Knicks fans, this is from about 2019 till today. This is the most patient this Knicks fan base has ever been, period. And I've watched other stitches of time. I was around in the early 80s when the Knicks sucked. Right. I was around in the early 2000s when the Knicks sucked. Right now. And in the early 80s, Knicks fans were storming the gate. Like if something don't happen, we just gonna stop coming to games. Right? Early 2000s, people was like, if you don't do, or not early 2000s, but mid 2000s or whatever, people was like, yo, if you don't do something, we just gonna stop coming.
Right.
If you don't go get us a star, we just not gonna participate no more. And right now, since like 2019 till today, even though you've seen a slow climb from being the worst to say middle of the pack, Knicks fans have been super patient. right? But so from 2019 to today is 2023, right?
Yes,
In
sir.
those 4 years, what has been the reward for your patience? Uncle Freezie and other content creators in Knicks universe. That's your reward.
Okay, you have a
Knicks universe growing is the only reward, bro. That's it. What was your reward? You won a playoff series?
no.
You got a John Morant or a Zion Williamson?
No, we didn't. We didn't get any of those.
Right.
I think we have stability. Our guys are stable.
What?
Yeah.
So you about to sell me on ordinary?
Jalen Brunson is a stable point guard, man.
You about to sell me on ordinary? You about to sell me on Uncle Freezie? We not a train wreck no more. Now we just ordinary.
We just a dumpster fire. We're not a train wreck. We're a dumpster fire.
We're not a train wreck no more. We just a dumpster fire. Okay, all right.
Salute to Hinton Murphy with the $9 super chatter platter. Again, man, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of we went from 2 seasons of Elfrid Payton, followed by a season of Alec Burks at the point guard. Makes no sense whatsoever. Now you got a guy. Now, was I all in on Jalen Brunson when that name came up? He's too short. And he's never been the leader of the team, right? Yeah, he has college accolades, but that's college. This is the NBA, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
After the first the first 10 games or so, matter of fact, it was probably the first game. I was like, yeah, we got somebody. We got a guy for sure. We finally got ourselves a legit point guard. No, he's not the tallest, but that don't mean he can't defend because he's the same height as Patrick Beverly.
Yeah,
and
he's just short. Yeah,
so, and as you can see, when he's not there, fourth quarter is an issue. It's like that escape song. Who you going to run to? Who you giving the ball to? Who's going to?
You mean that Jones Girl song?
Oh man, it's really, they made it their song.
Life. There was really. I know, but human beings really existed before 1990, bro. I
know.
Like,
I know.
people, like, legit, like, yeah.
Knock on wood. For a long time, I thought it was their song. Until I was like, who's singing escape song like this?
Right. Like, people legit give Aretha Franklin credit for singing a song called Respect, but that's actually a Otis Redding song. Yeah. I mean, Aretha sang it. She sung it now. Aretha Franklin, she sang that song. Yeah, but that's Otis Redding, who died at age 26.
Wow, he was that young?
Yes.
He was that young?
Yes. He wrote it, and a week later he was dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, for those who just now joining us, man, this is Bob and Stuff Live in the Morning. We're simulcasting with Blorange Tears. It is trade deadline approaching. So we're talking Knicks this morning. Just hit on something that just brought back a memory. when he mentioned Otis Redding. I remember the first time hearing that song. I was trying to drive a 4-speed Chevy C10 in Colombia.
What was it? Sky blue?
It was like a rusty looking red, or could have been orange.
Could have been orange. Could have been. Yeah.
Brown. I don't know what color that truck was. It was faded and decayed. It smelled like fish and boots and all kinds of nonsense on the inside. And I'm riding with a gentleman by the name of Mr. Henry. Rest in peace, Mr. Henry. They said, "Young fella, I'm gonna need you to drive, man. My bunions is killing me."
Yeah.
I said, Mr. Henry, man, I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive stick, man.
Them older fellas used to wear church shoes everywhere. Remember that? They used to wear church shoes everywhere. But the thing about it nowadays, like nowadays, things that existed then don't exist now, or people don't use them now. Like back then the old fella used to be like, "Man, I need to go to the store and buy me another shoehorn. I don't know what I did with my shoehorn." And nowadays, when you say shoehorn to like somebody young, they're like, "Why is you wedging your foot in a shoe that don't fit anyway?" It's a different time, bro. It's definitely a different time.
It's a really different time, man. And I just remember that song finally getting up that hill, because I don't know how to drive stick. In Colombia, there's a lot of hills up in there, and we're going. Man, I rolled down that hill because I kept stalling out, man. Like, I'm learning how to drive stick on a hill because this man got to take his boots off because they too small,
right?
And it done, cut the side of it, so he gushed it a little bit. And I'm like, oh boy, oh man. And then that song came on, and all of the drama that was going on, the events that were happening in that truck kind of went away. And I was like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And then he hit that whistle. I was like, I got to go find this. I got to go find this. And that weekend I went to the flea market to find that record, and I got that record, and I jammed out to it.
What's the name of the song again?
Sitting on dock of the
Oh
bay.
yeah, Sitting on dock of the bay, yeah.
Watching the tides roll away.
Yeah, Sitting on dock of the bay.
Man,
that's Otis Redding, man. That was a great time in music, man. Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Jackie Wilson, who I thought I have. My uncles had me thinking that Jackie Wilson was the coolest man to ever breathe breath. Like, how in that era, it was like a James Brown type era.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you would see Jackie Wilson and his suit would be immaculate, right? Yes. No wrinkle, no fabric out of place. And he would do this thing with his hair. Like, I don't know what kind of hairstyle it was. I wasn't even born, right? But this man, I would go back and look, and this dude would just be. I'm talking about Jackie Wilson his prime. Jackie Wilson out of his prime. I was alive for that, but man, you talking about man, yes. But anyways, what the Knicks are gonna do, bro? I think a lot of us just want us to have this sense that our organization is competent, right? The Dallas Mavericks had nothing to work with in a Kyrie Irving deal, and they made a way out of no way in order to get Kyrie Irving, right? And so the Knicks are armed with resources, but are they going to do something? You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? I don't think we're going to get the big deal. I don't think we're going to get a Kyrie Irving type trade right now. And when I say Kyrie Irving type trade, a big name in this short window.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying though.
Oh,
what I'm saying
I apologize. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is Dallas find a creative way to use their resources that got them Kyrie Irving. Can the Knicks find a creative way to use their resources?
Oh, for sure.
You think this front office can find a creative way to use their resources?
I think they can. We've watched moves made, draft day that had us scratching our heads. I think they can. I mean, you like you said, there's no way. This is not like the year that we got Grimes and all those guys.
Okay.
We had roster spots to fill, and we were going in that draft saying there's no way the Knicks going to draft 4 guys. There's no way they're going to do that. And I'm like, they have all these positions to fill with, the Reggie Bullocks and those leaving or whatever. They're going to have to fill these roster spots, and why not do it with young, controllable contracts? And that's exactly what they did. I don't believe they're going to do that this go round.
Okay.
Even though they have that the most potential first round picks, they got 2 and 2 possibles. 2 and 2
possibles, yeah.
I think that's that type of ammunition to make will increase their chances of making a move like that. Right. I personally thought if we were going to make a move like that, it should have been before the trade deadline, before we find out what these picks are.
Okay. All right.
Because once the season is over and they start determining, the positioning for the draft, then that's when you know exactly what these picks are, and they may not be as valuable during that time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I think they can. I think they will. And that's just me being optimistic. I don't have any concrete evidence to say, Uncle Freezie, look at this situation. This is exactly why they're going to do it because of this situation. I don't have that.
Okay. I'm going to say this to that. I don't feel like this front office is going to be creative with their resources to improve the roster.
Okay.
I think they are. I think what they'll probably do is get rid of Cam, move on with the rest of the roster, and then bargain shop on a waiver wire, right? And then at the same time, I think they're just going to buy out Derrick Rose and let him walk. I think they're probably going to buy out Derrick Rose for like $7 million, right? And then that way we can save $7 million. He get his $7 million, and then he can go wherever he want to go. I think that's the best decision for Derrick Rose, because I don't think anybody's going to give us anything for Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I think Fournier is here to stay. Yeah. It's just one of those things. I hate for it to be that way, Chuck. I think that's what it is. The two minor moves. Now, we won't get anything in return for Cam Reddish, like significant. I think they're going to take draft picks instead of players, and I think they're going to buy out Derrick Rose. And then what do you do with those two empty roster spots? I think they're going to go out and get a random scrap heap big man and another 6'4" guard. And that is your acquisition at the trade deadline.
Do we need another 6'4" guard?
Yeah, I don't.
Do we need another 6'4" guard?
I don't know.
Another big man, a versatile big man, a 4/5 big man would be helpful.
Somebody off the scrap heap.
Right. Yeah, definitely someone off the scrap heap, but preferably a veteran that has a little bit of offensive something that he can pass along to those guys during practice. I'm trying to read these comments, but they're kind of moving kind of fast.
All right. So David L says, can buy out the $7 million left players get paid every 8 weeks? Okay. I was just using that as an example, y'all. But buying out Derrick Rose for the remainder of his contract is what they'll negotiate. Nobody knows the exact dollar amount. Like, we don't know what the exact dollar amount is because we don't know what Derrick Rose will accept, right? So I use that as an example. The buyout thing is real. The exact dollar amount, who knows? Right.
Right.
You don't know the exact dollar amount. That's why I was, speculating on the dollar amount. But it is what it is. Either way, buy out Derrick Rose, trade Cam Reddish, bargain bin shop on bargain bin shop for a free agent that can come in and help us. Right. Maybe cut somebody at the end of the roster, and then bring in another guy. I don't know what guys are out there at the moment that are available, because you don't know who's going to be available on the buyout market, because the buyout market won't be set until after the trade deadline.
Right. I'm afraid. I am a little cautious. I'm not going to say afraid of having all of this capital to make a move, and the person that you want, or the guys that you think can take us to another level, aren't available, and you use those resources to acquire something else. That is okay, but it's not what you want. It's like when I wanted this teal green 94 Mustang GT.
Okay.
I told the guy I'll be back later on this afternoon with the money.
Right.
I go home, I grab that money, I'm going back to get this car. When I got there, you know what? Car's gone. He said, "Hey man, I'm sorry, man. First come, first serve."
First come, first serve basis.
Right. And he's like, "I can show you some other stuff." And he showed me like I didn't even know Suzuki made cars at the time. I was like, Suzuki Esteem? I don't want that. I don't want that. And he showed me like a Grand Prix and something in a front wheel drive Monte Carlo. I was like, first of all, I don't even like cars. Okay. And then I look over and I see this red car. It's sleek. It got the pop-up lights. And I was like, yeah, Ford Pro. I found out it wasn't what I wanted. It was not what I wanted, but it was what was there. I had the money. I saved a couple of bucks. Well, a lot of money. I saved like $2,000. Trying to get that car. And I remember when I went to drive it home, man, I felt so good until a Mitsubishi Galant passed me and I couldn't catch it. Oh,
Yeah.
what did I do?
Now what did you do?
Did I do? And that's why I'm feeling like I don't want our front office to be that. You know what I'm saying? Have your eye on something. It doesn't happen. And then now you're scrambling for the next move. And then you get a Ford Probe. And you walk it and you bring it out to the press conference all shiny and glistening.
Right.
And once we see it in action, we're like, oh, man, you could have got a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
This car is trash.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my only concern. Oh boy. Yo, I'm getting these wild, what are the Knicks gonna do texts? And these aren't people that are Knicks fans.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, yeah. I mean, yo, we was standing at the light and dudes are like, yo, what are we gonna do at the deadline? And me and the people I were with were like the same thing we do at every deadline. Bargain shop. We're doubling the man. Listen, Tibbs and Leon Rose are bosom buddies, bro. They are hunkered in. They are anchored into what they want to do right now. They believe in where they're going right now. Right? They believe in it. They believe in where the direction where they're going. So if they can't get somebody to fit where it is that they're going, they ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? They not doing
Right.
They ain't doing nothing, bro. But anyways, Chuck, let me get out of here so I can eat some breakfast, bro.
Hey man.
I'm gonna get out of here, eat some breakfast. Enjoy, man. Finish enjoying. Greeny is around here somewhere, bro. Greeny around here. Salute to the Florida Knicks family. All of y'all, man. All of y'all, all my people in Florida, wherever y'all are, Orlando, Tampa, all of y'all, man. It was exciting and fun to meet all of y'all and just hang out and kick it, man. It was an exciting time. I'm gonna do a late breakfast and then go out here by this. Let me show you what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm gonna y'all be patient with me. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about.
There you go, Freezie. Stun on us. There we go. Oh, look at that there.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go out here by this pool.
Yeah.
The personal joint. So we got the little joint out here, man. It's nice out here. Got the pool, man. I'm gonna go out here and hang out here by this. Look at this water, Chuck. Chuck, look at this water, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna finish enjoying the day. Probably eat breakfast out here, and probably take one of those 50-something naps that I take during the daytime, man, and maybe eat some food or something and relax. And then I'll get on later, probably in a couple of hours and do the trade deadline joint. I gotta do that every day. So
Okay.
I'm gonna probably do that in a few hours, man.
All right. Listen,
man.
guys, man. I thank everybody for joining us. To the Vibesters, hey man, we have to talk Knicks trade deadline stuff because it's the most important thing to us right now.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. If it's your first time with us, man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. If you're watching this over on the Blorange Tears network, man, make sure you hit that like button. We'll be back tomorrow on Vibes and Stuff. Same time. Uncle will be back later on this afternoon.
I'm gonna be back on later this afternoon at some point.
Until
so
then,
it's about 11 something. So maybe about 2:30, something like that. Take a little nap, watch some investigation TV or something, and then jump back on for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, peace.
Peace.